In this video, we're going to edit the properties of the image, the label, and the button. First, let's look at the name of those different elements. As you can see, each element has a name, and those names become really important when we start programming. And if we were to add another button, if we were to add a second button, all it does is it gets another label. This one's called button 3, and it just keeps adding to the numbers. Well, while that is convenient, it is a little bit of a problem when we start referring to it in code, because we start to forget which one was number 1, which one was number 2, and eventually you're going to have a lot of buttons. You're going to want to be able to keep track of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the button, and I'm going to change the button ID to be a more descriptive, better name for it. This button is actually going to take me to the name screen. So I'm going to just get rid of that 1 and name it button to name. Notice I use camel case. I didn't leave any spaces, and where I wanted to put a space, instead I made a capital. So there we have button to name. For the text, I'm going to call for the label, I'm going to call this label home, and for the image, I'm going to call this image home. That way I have meaningful names with all these objects. Now, next, I'm going to change the text property, and I'm going to put in the text property, I'm going to put my name, and I'm going to put my name in the Mr. Rohde app. I can also change any of these text properties I want as well. I could change the font. I could change anything anything that's on these screens to make it fit the way I want it to look. Now for button, I'm going to change the name of the button to be name story, because that's what this button is going to do. When you click on the button, it's going to go to, take you to my name story. And the last is the most complicated, and that's the image. So for the image, I'm going to do a Google search, and I'm going to look for something that's like Hello World. And I want something Hello World that's kind of like an animated GIF. So I'm going to go to, oops, I misspelled Hello World. I misspelled Hello World again. And in my Hello World, there's a bunch of GIFs. Just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to take this first one. And in order to add a GIF or any image into your project, is pretty easy. I'm going to power click. That's the second mouse button, or the right mouse button, and I'm going to go Save Image As, and I'm going to save this image as Hello World. When I save that image, I'm now going to go over to Hello World here. I'm going to click on that image, and then I have this thing where it says image property, and I'm going to click on choose. The first thing I have to do is upload a file. You can see I have all kinds of images here, but I want the one that's Hello World. When I do that, I can now choose it, and inside that is Hello World.